Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brendan with Evoke Bike. We are back with part two with Karl Patrick. Hope you enjoyed the first part as much as I did. This second part is just as good as he gets into some more of the details of his training and racing. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, we would greatly appreciate if you leave us a review. 38 of you have, and I sincerely appreciate you taking the 7 to 20 seconds to validate us a little bit so other cyclists know that we have some worthy content for them to spend 5 minutes listening to, or a 30-minute podcast interview like this one. Let somebody know what we're doing. If you have any ideas that you want us to cover, email me, brendan@evoke.bike, and hope you enjoy this podcast. See ya.
Let's say, considering the cold weather I had, it was like a good work week.
Mm-hmm.
For example, during when I have, for example, this week, okay, this week is an exception, but if I have two hard one-day races in the weekend or something like that, the weeks are not that long.
Okay.
I don't stress too much over with the race, with the training.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question, 24 hours, it's already quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it consists, well, it's like 3-day block, one easier day, 2-day block, and then you have also one other day, but every day has like I do a lot of intensity.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't look for like 30-hour weeks. I don't see it necessary. I don't see.
Is anybody doing 30-hour weeks anymore?
Harder weeks are around 20 to 24 hours.
Okay.
Like a mediocre week with, for example, just the most simple situation. For example, 2 races in the weekend. You have 5 days. Normally, weekend before that, you had 1-2 races. Monday rest day. Let's say 4 training rides. It's 17, 18 hours. Maybe depends on the race, but a little bit above 20. Easier week. I don't stress too much about. I don't check the hours. It comes around. It depends. Between 13 and 15, maybe 17. It depends.
Okay. Do you take a rest week, like a lower volume week, on a specific, like every 4th week, or does it vary, I guess, when races are falling, or how do you manage that?
Yeah, it's only according to racing.
Okay.
For example, after we had we did the races in Greece, so there I went home. I saw 3 weeks no racing. Actually, I had to come back even more later than I came back here. So just try to. I saw the goals are more in end of May, like Ronald Tour and also Tour of Estonia, because for me, big races, UCI races, 0.2, 0.1, so really strong races. So the last stage in Greece was also 0.2, so I won the last stage. So I climbed quite well. I felt good, so I knew this feeling won't last till the end of May, because Greece was already in the beginning of April.
Okay.
So pretty much 2-month difference. So just try to straight away 2 rest days, normal after a heavy block of racing. Did some I have with my coach, sometimes I say, for example, first week, I don't have to do something so specific. So I just told him, we don't have to communicate. You have a free week, I'll decide by feeling how I slept. I just go out just 1 week. I have 2 other weeks that I can do really strong, prepare well. So that didn't mean I just did 1 hour every day or nothing at all. One day, 4 hours, just felt sun was shining, just went out, rode 4 hours, did some efforts, I know, by feelings, just in the head it popped, I would like to do it, so just did it. It was just headwind part. I said, I knew the length of the road. I'll do 3 times 5 minutes with 150, 160 heart rate. So it gives a base of 340 watts, let's say. So it's more interesting just to ride the same pace, this hard headwind. So just to make the riding more interesting,
Yeah. I think you said something that's a really good point. So you were feeling good about 2 months before the big races are starting. So you'd hey, I got to dial this back a little bit. Like I might be coming into form a little too soon. Is that correct?
No, because also the Greece was really important for the team.
Okay.
Because it was, we had Bardiani, also Pro Continentals were, I think, Novo Nordisk, Coupe, some Seg Racing Academy. So the pretty high level. So yeah, just it was, like I said, I tried to do the best of my knowledge. So this was like yeah, I felt good. Everything went well. I won the stage that I went there for. So I saw it was just an idea. As I said, you can put things on a paper like that, but just now take a bit more easy, because after this race, if you start screwing the
turning the screw.
Yeah, turning the screw, one day you're gonna pop.
Okay, that's what I was. Yeah, because I think, especially myself being an amateur and especially, it's kind of known in the U.S. You start feeling good and it's just more until it's too much, and then it's like, ooh, overdid a little bit. And I think hearing someone like you being in tune with yourself, of knowing, okay, I hit the goal. Now I need to not keep doing it because I have other goals down the road. Maybe I pull it back for a little bit. It's, we talk too about training through some races. You can't be at your 100% for every race. And a hard thing with that for an athlete is, the ego. You want to be able to win everything. And if you want to win the really big ones, you have to be okay not being 100% at other races. And it seems like you're good with that, of even saying hey, this weekend, maybe I'm not at my best, but you have goals that you're working towards. And it's cool to hear you talk about that and bring that up. Do you ever think that this is my last training question for you. Do you ever think that you trained too much or felt like you were maybe doing something incorrectly?
Well, it depends. Normally, this thought comes to my mind during a race, because you start to feel something during the week. For example, I have a race on Saturday. During the week, I thought, this I'm doing for this. Maybe I did too much. It's okay. So Saturday during the race, you feel by the feeling how your wheels are glued to the ground. You're always one step behind.
Yeah.
So then you're starting to click the dots that okay. Last weekend was a race. For example, you had Saturday, Sunday, and one time I made a mistake. Okay, now I have an important race next Saturday, but I always do a full rest day after the racing. I just like to unplug and straight towards the rest day. But I did a 5-hour ride. I was thinking I can just turn the screw, I can get a bit more better. But the race I did in the weekend, I won. I was where I needed to be. So, and then the next weekend was just out of the window. So normally during the races, I start to question why I did that. But always I discuss it with my coach straight afterwards, that I felt that this was a mistake. But I'm quite like have a quite good coach that I always have an idea of what I want to do. Then I give him my idea. He gives me his idea, and we try to match it in the middle, you know. And since I've started training with him, it has worked quite well. So
I love that. I think that's,
and also the mental part. For example, he feels like we should do something like that. But for me, especially the hardest part is actually I don't care about my muscles or it's just pain, but just the mental part. If you have had something, for example, something personal, a lot of traveling, something like that, and he gives you, because it takes a lot of mental energy. For example, he puts me one day, yeah, let's tomorrow I would, yeah, we haven't done some works in some time, but still I'm mentally tired. And he puts this 3 times 8 minutes with the what's I told you, you know, the moment you see this, you know, it hurts so much.
yeah.
So I will, sometimes I tell him, no efforts. If I want to go out, I will just ride for hours. If I don't feel for it, you know, I come back home. This doesn't mean I don't put in the work, but sometimes that's just how I feel the life works, you know.
I think that's good. I think, and I think athletes appreciate that too when they have a coach that's trying to listen to them as opposed to just giving them workouts. And I think a great email, sometimes I'll send to people just like, hey, how you feeling? How does, and I was talking to a guy this morning who just said, hey man, so what is it? April, May now. He lives in northern US, so it's like just getting into spring. So he's had some training races. Said, I feel like I can cover moves, I can respond to everything, I can attack. I kind of feel like I'm missing some like breakaway power if I get off the front or something, and that's kind of how he can win. And so I'm like, dude, this is so valuable because no matter what program you're using, what analytics you're looking at, like having that athlete explain to you how they're feeling when they're racing is what you need. So that's really cool. That is just a testament to the communication. Like, and we try to tell athletes like own your training, be involved in it. Don't just, Training Peaks is not the Bible. Like the workouts that we set, like you said, sometimes you got to call an audible. And for people that are amateurs that are working 9 to 5, they might have a family that they're taking care of. It's like, hey, I got 5 hours of sleep. You got to shift things around a little bit and make it work with your life. So that's really cool. You seem pretty like a calm, cool, and collected type of guy, but is there anything that makes you anxious or nervous before a race, especially some of these big races that you're doing?
When I was younger, a lot. Now it depends. Of course, there's a lot of things in life that make me anxious. Maybe it's not even anxious or how to say stressed. It's not even something. It has nothing to do with cycling, you know.
Sure.
Just life in general. But in races, if I haven't raced for, let's say, 2-3 weeks, and I go to a race, I start to feel the tickle, but it calms down quite fast because I know it's the race day. If I did some mistakes with the training, I cannot change that anymore. So it's the race day. Just take the race day as it is. Feel good. Go and win it. You know, the pieces will fall to its places. So it's just how it works. You know, if I start a race, like my mind starts to tick on another note. You know, if I start to make the right decisions, it's how it's meant to be. You know, you're in a good mental position. You're well rested, well trained. You know, every time it ticks in the back of your head, like eat, drink. You know, the moment when you start, when it's let's say it's not always your day, or you start, these are the small mistakes you start to do. You don't remind yourself to eat and drink. You don't do it. You over stress. I feel generally, I feel really, really calm, but actually on the bike, I'm not that kind, let's say. It's just
You're a mean bike racer.
no, not exactly mean, but like, if that fire starts to spark, it just it goes like the forest fires. It just like, I need to go with everything. I just do stupid things. I go to I don't do sensible moves.
Mm-hmm.
That's also when the mistake starts to come. And
So in talking about making mistakes, do you have any bad habits that you think create mistakes? Or on the other side, do you have any good habits that you think help you with your training and racing?
oh,
Let's do bad habits first.
bad habits before a race.
Yeah, maybe.
Uh,
Yeah. If you
let's
have any,
say,
you might not have any.
yeah. For example, sometimes I like to walk a
Mm,
lot.
okay.
That's not a good thing to do before 150, 180-kilometer race.
Uh,
If you will have some bad legs.
mm,
Sometimes it was just a walk. I just for example, me 6-7 k's. You walk into the center of the city. For example, in Tallinn, it's big city. You walk into center. You chill a bit around, take a coffee, walk back. It can come around 6-7 k's.
mm-hmm,
It's nothing. But
mm-hmm. It's a
you
good walk.
you will ask it again during the race, the day after.
Mm-hmm.
So this maybe a habit also before a race, leaving too much things to do a day before a race.
Okay.
For example, let's say the training bike, you leave that. You have to, for example, spare bike or training bike, you have to wash it. Do that before a race. Too much things to do before a race. Put sometimes it's not especially a bad habit, but some things not thought through.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair.
But bad habits,
That's good. No, that's good. What about any race routine? Like in the morning of,
uh
are you like pretty like regimented? Like you do the same thing, or you do?
no. This part, I like to keep calm. I wake up. That's the thing. Normally, I don't know why, but I have like I feel at least I have a low blood sugar in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, the moment I open my eyes, it's like straight, dress up, downstairs, coffee, breakfast. First thing also, if I'm home, straight. The first thing as I eat like a line of chocolate,
Okay.
because then it's like, I don't feel, well, I'm living alone, but I don't feel very, I'm not the most pleasant person in the morning.
Okay.
But when I get the line of chocolate, then the fire has been calmed down.
That's awesome.
So then I prepare a cup of coffee, and then I think what to eat. In hotels, normally easier, you have a buffet or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
we just do something carb heavy. And
What do you like oatmeal or muesli, things like that, bread?
yeah, Weetabix, oatmeal, muesli, everything like that. Depends on the day. When we were in Greece, we had the French toast,
Mm.
but it's also, it doesn't give you the I feel it straight away. It doesn't give you what gives to you, for example, a good bowl of oats. You know, it's straight because there's some eggs, some sugars, so you have some heavy fat. Too much things combined that you only need the carbs. You know, some protein, some carbs. So, but it's just some variety. But in general, yeah, race morning, something based on oats. Yeah.
So the night before, do you carb load at all, or are you just focusing on carbs, or how do you approach that?
I always carb load.
Always carb load, all the time.
Yeah. I because it's an experience. I'm not how to say. Yeah, it's nothing bad, but I've had eating disorders.
Okay.
Well, something similar like Ben King explained.
Okay.
Maybe you've read the article, but
I can't recall.
yeah, it's and I learned that people think carbs make them fat. Never. Like, just look a bit the portions, and if you can, for example, cyclists, they train so much. You're you're always pretty much tired. Maybe if you're happy, you know, maybe you don't seem tired, but you're always are, because we train a lot, we race a lot, we travel a lot. So this needs also energy, and also for the head. So I've studied quite a lot about it, made some experiments on myself. For example, I had let's say 3 hour, just nothing too special ride, some rice after the ride, dinner, also rice, salad, chicken, something like that, some lasagna, whatever. And the next morning, let's say I have 1 hour and 30 ride, 1.5 hours, and I eat only omelette, so I don't put in any carbs. Straight away, the feeling is not the same. It's and the snowball starts to grow if I start to make. So for me, just I don't know why, or because I feel good when I eat the carbs. I can think, I sleep well. Me personally, I prefer to skip the protein part than the carbs part. And there I don't like look for grams or something like that. For example, yeah, it's easier if you do a rice. If it's already here we have the packets of 125 grams.
Okay.
It's a portion. So I'll just do that. I eat that. That's it. I feel it's enough. So, but if it's not, by feeling, I put in I cook 150, 160 grams. It's not a problem. I'll eat that also. It's not. I don't weigh all my food. And yeah.
That's awesome. No, I love carbs too, so I love to hear that. What's I think my last question for you. So you're, trying to keep getting the results, get to the next level. Mindset. How do you, continually cycling such a hard sport, continually stay positive, motivated, going after your goals? You take a setback, like you said, when you were in your 20s, and you were, kind of disappointed at first, but in the long run, it was a good thing. How do you just keep going? Like, if cyclists take knocks, do you have any strategy for that?
Well, you asked how. Well, sometimes, yeah, I also crack, but it's you start to think things through, but like in the end of the day, it's not a bad life. You're getting paid for your hobby, and yeah, you have responsibilities. You still have to train. Cycling is also hard, if the weather doesn't ask you questions, so you still, you have like home trainers, and that sometimes I like to do that also, but not that much. So you still have to go out, because we also have in Estonia we have a lot of sayings, but who will pay will order the music, we have a saying. So who will pay will order the music.
What does that mean?
It means that who is paying you the salary.
Oh, okay.
That it's it's not like translated straight, but it's you still have a responsibility in front of them,
Yeah.
To go out, you have to do your best. But how do I?
No,
Yeah, I think the easiest way is to say like if I quit that, it's a lot of work already behind it. I'm good at it. I know. I believe I'm good at it, and also, it's.
My perception is you're good at seeing the big picture. Like you've made comments of, you don't hyper focus on one race. You see the big picture. You'd commented on in training, you have a week, you have the 2 days off. Hey, I'm going to take a look at the big picture. Like you're good at zooming out and being like, oh, you know what? This actually isn't that bad. I think it's an amazing, you're 24 years old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an awesome quality.
I try to, of course I have bad times and hard times, and
sure. Yeah.
Let's say, for example, I just came back to France, but like you arrive to the apartment and it's like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. I do all these things. Yeah, unpack my bike, just clean a bit, put the things into its places, and then you sit on the couch and like it's like dead silence, and sometimes it's like it's hard, you're alone, you're totally alone. I speak perfect French, I understand pretty much every word, but even if some teammate comes by like before, like it doesn't help, you're still alone, your friends are still in Estonia, or some friends who are also racing, they do their stuff, and sometimes this part is one of the hardest, but
being away and being isolated.
But my team also understands, like they always like here they ask questions like, this guy every time he goes back to Estonia, he comes back, he's so strong. But they are local, they're always home, they can go and see their grandparents, their parents, the girlfriend or something like that. I'm here 2 months in a row. For sure, in the end of the 2 months, you're tired. The moment you go to the races, you don't want to be there. This doesn't matter. You cannot win them, but it's not the pleasant thing, And then you get home, you come back, you're fresh, you're ready to race again. You're loaded, but for them, the first question is what's he doing in Estonia? They start to put all these doping questions or something like that.
No way.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of accusations, but that's they're just small-minded, because they cannot see the part that I'm alone. I'm pretty much training alone. It's hard. And when you go home, sometimes, for example, one time I was like fighting to get into my race weight. Now I basically even don't weigh myself anymore. Last time was like 1.5 years ago, because I just visually see if I'm good, if I feel good, it just clicks. But I was aiming for a better weight it just, whatever I did, it didn't come down. Went home, had some sauna, some time with friends, some, let's say, a few beers, and even with not a lot of training or something, I think in 2 days I lost 3 kilos or something like that.
What?
Yeah, but it's the you're already, but it's the water inside that's by the stress and everything like that. It doesn't come down whatever you do, and then it clicks. You know, you get out of that stress. You see your family, your friends. You know, there's not much needed to do that. You know.
That's wild. Well, I hope you get to have some more trips back home. Sounds like it's rejuvenating.
Yeah, I'm going actually in 2.5 weeks. So a lot of racing, then straight back home, and then I'll stay at home till nationals. So another 3 weeks.
That's awesome. How can people follow along to see? Are you on Instagram at Karl Patrick Lauk?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your last name? Lauk?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll tag that below. Hey man, this was awesome. I really appreciate your time. This was fantastic, and wish you the best in the races. We're excited to see where you go. Get on the top of the podium, and yeah, if we can help you with anything, let us know.
Yeah, same. Thank you for inviting.
Dude, anytime. Thanks so much, and we'll be watching and cheering for you.
All right.
All right, see you later, man.
See ya.
Bye.